I taught my children that in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, God commanded us to tithe. And with that command came the promise that if we tithe faithfully, He would open the windows of heaven and pour down blessings upon us. My children would get their allowance every Saturday morning, $10, and they would put $1 aside to go into the offering plate on Sunday. And my son Cam squirreled away the $9 into his wallet because he was saving to buy a motorcycle helmet. We lived out in the country, and he had a little motorcycle that he drove in the trails behind the house. And the only helmet we had in the family was an old football helmet. And he didn't like that, and he wanted a motorcycle helmet. We'd go out for donuts every Saturday morning, and I would have coffee. He would have a hot chocolate, and he would sip his hot chocolate through a straw. And there was a motorcycle showroom right next door to the coffee shop. And we would go there, and he would go to where the helmets were stashed up. They had shelves of helmets, and he had picked out one that he wanted. It was a nice red shiny helmet with a visor that moved up and down, and it cost $50. And he would try it on every Saturday and look in the mirror, and the salesman would come over and he would talk with the salesman. And the salesman knew that he had to save his money for a certain number of weeks before he had enough money to come in and buy the helmet. One week we went, and he tried on the helmet, and he looked at me and he said, "Dad, if I hadn't tithed, I'd have enough money to buy this helmet today." For a moment I was tempted to open the windows of heaven myself and kick in the difference, but something held me back. The next Saturday, he had the money to buy his helmet. And we went to the dealership before we had our donuts. And we went to the shelf where the helmets were. And there was a big sign that said, "All helmets 50% off." And he was thrilled. He said, "Dad," he said, "I can get my helmet and still have $25 in my pocket." And when we looked for his helmet, it was gone. And as the tears began to roll down his cheek, the salesman came out from behind the counter and said, "Look, Cam, I have your helmet here. I knew you were going to buy it today, and I just held it back for you." We went to have coffee and donuts, and he was wearing his helmet. And it was funny to see him sit there with the helmet on and with the straw sticking through the hole in the helmet. And I looked at him and I said, "Cam, did God open the windows of heaven for you today?" And he got a great big smile on his face and said, "He sure did."